What is going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to talk to you about Faraday Future. I want to go over some of the data points, the technicals, and what just potentially came out that is very good news. So I'm going to go over all that. Make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with that, let's get right to it. So yesterday was a very epic day for Faraday. I think it did have a high of around 40%, so a huge day. Today it's down 4.72%, so I think that's kind of normal. Any stock that goes up 40%, there's going to be a certain level of profit taking and just consolidation, so I think that's kind of normal. But right now, like I said, 7.42% in the red, a lot of volatility. So 451 being the low today and 523 being the high, and a lot of eyes are on it today. So 9.1 million shares being traded, 7.3 is the average. When it comes down to options activity, so I'll go over some of the data points before I talk on what will be coming out. So $190,000 in calls being purchased versus 94,000 in puts. So based on this information, people are anticipating for it to trend up. And if you are looking at this, so this is all the calls, just a grid view. It shows expiry dates, the strike prices. Based on this information right here, it is anticipated to be roughly between the 5 to 550 range by the end of next week. So of course, I think that's fairly good. Shows a little bit more of a bottoming with the technicals and many other things. When it comes down to it, there's been roughly about 3 transactions over $100,000 on the secondary market. So kind of the norm somewhat. And one thing to note though is the number of transactions on the dark pool is very low. So only 1 transaction. Dark pool is very much linked to shorting. So I'll give you an overview of that in a second. But when it comes down to the actual technicals, with it being at $4.73, it is currently trading between this S1 and the pivot. So 339 is very strong support. Vice versa, 483 is the next resistance. But it already did break past that, and I do feel with it kind of on the edge of that, it can easily get above. Once the news that most likely I'm going to share with you is officially announced, it'll easily go above that. My own interpretation of financial advisor, of course. So if it does break above that, then 627 will be the next strong resistance. And like I've indicated, a lot of this has wide gaps, so there's just going to be a lot of volatility. Looking at momentum shows number of retail investors are slightly getting out today. Stochastic is at 6, and that's considered oversold, but a little bit more of a starting of a bullish sentiment right now. And also on a side note, I know I do quickly go through a lot of this fairly fast, but if you have any questions about anything I do bring up, let me know in the comments below. I'd be more than happy to kind of break that down for you. So I'm going to go over shorts before I talk on the news. So right now, as you can see right here, short score is currently shows as 0. So that's clearly an indication that Vortex isn't having everything together right now. Utilization is 78.22%, and as of right here, it does show obviously 0 or NA for the percentage of free float, but yesterday I think it was around 24.7%. 4.1 million shares overall are being shorted. 64,000 shares are essentially being increased today. So you kind of have that aspect. The cost to borrow average is kind of staying in line with what it was yesterday. So 13.32% is the average, and it still is on the threshold list. It's been on the threshold list since I believe on Monday. So that's something to kind of consider. And I'll just pull this up quickly for you. So this is all the failure to delivers for Faraday Future. So there is quite a lot out there. So that does insinuate that there's a lot of naked shorting that's happening. But when it comes down to it, there has been some news. So yesterday's news that did come out was right here. So Jason Oppenheim, who is a very big car advocate, did take possession of his vehicle. So that's a fairly good thing, a lot of good PR. And when it comes down to the news that came out today, it just kind of indicates and summarizes yesterday's PR. And it says how there is going to be another delivery co-creation day next week. So fairly good stuff in my opinion. But one thing that hasn't actually come out yet that will really help the stock price is this. So if you actually go on NASDAQ's website and look under the non-compliant list, Faraday Future is no longer on here. So in other words, that does mean that Faraday Future is officially NASDAQ compliant. So that does also mean that a lot of institutions will obviously be coming back into Faraday. But as of right now, the next steps most likely that are going to be coming out is an official PR coming out from the company just saying that they are now officially NASDAQ compliant. So again, there's that aspect that will be coming out probably after hours today, if not tomorrow, and that'll once again kind of invigorate, cause some FOMO into Faraday and going back over here, possibly push it between this P and the R1, so potentially up to $6.27. So pretty exciting news in my opinion, just it hasn't been announced. I do feel that maybe this was updated as of yesterday as well, so this is probably why there was a lot of volatility in a positive way yesterday. Just officially, once something does come out from the company, that'll really help. So let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And like I said, with that news, I do feel that it can easily get back to realistically where it should be, because ever since they did announce that whole reverse stock split, it's just been getting completely pounded, unnecessarily so. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And also on a side note, give yourself a shout out if you somehow were able to catch the bottom at $3.38 or relatively close to that. Funny enough though, when I actually did see it, I actually saw when it was at $3.40 just briefly, and I actually thought, I'm like, well, you know what, this is a little bit more of a falling knife, but damn, $3.39, that is a very cheap amount. So I really wish I would have bought, but of course can't dwell on that. Even in theory, like I said, based on everything though, this even at 472 could be considered pretty cheap to where it might be going potentially. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Take advantage of this promo with Moomoo, link in the description below and also the comments. Free to sign up for an account with Moomoo, but if you do throw $100 at the account, you get 5 free stocks. Each stock can be valued up to $2,000. So this is one of the best deals. Link in the description below and also the comments. With that said, I appreciate you all watching.